what is the role of Japan in the whole geopolitical world? What are the choices of interest for Japan? The role of Japan is not much, unfortunately, today. And let me explain why. We have to go back to the map. So, Japan is essentially a satellite state, a client state of the United States. I do not regard Japan, unfortunately, as a sovereign country. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I do not regard Japan as a sovereign, independent nation. See, when you have a permanent military presence of another country on your soil, you cannot be considered to be a sovereign, independent nation. Let's go to Okinawa, shall we? So this is the island of Okinawa in Japan. Let's look at. So as you can see, there are a couple of airports here. Let's look at this one. It's called Ginowan. No, it's called the Marine Corps Air Station Futenma. So this is an American permanent military base. It's a permanent military base, American base. The American Marine Corps is stationed here, and their weapons and aircraft and all that will be found here. So these are American aircraft. These are helicopters and so on. So this is an American base in Japan, permanent base. This is another one. This is the Kadena Air Base, a United States Armed Force base again. And if you look at the kind of aircraft they have deployed here, these are American fighter planes and so on, right? And I can show you lots of other American military bases that have a permanent deployment in Japan. US military bases, Japan. Let's see. So you will have more. You will have many more in the mainland, also in the main part of Japan. US. Let's search for that again. As you can see, throughout Japan. So Japan essentially can be considered rightfully to be under American occupation. So what is the role of Japan? To do whatever the Americans tell them. That is the role of Japan. Japan has been under American occupation since 1945, since the end of the Second World War. The Japanese constitution was written, drafted under American supervision. It has not been changed, as far as I know, since the Americans drafted it. We had leaders like Mr. Abe, Mr. Shinzo Abe, who were in favor of changing the constitution, allowing the Japanese armed forces to have a more proactive and significant role. But for some reason, Mr. Abe had to step down from the prime ministership, apparently because of health reasons. And now he's no longer in power. Now we have a bunch of anonymous prime ministers, one after the other, who come and go, come and go, come and go. So Japan doesn't have much of a role in geopolitics. It is a powerful country. It has excellent submarines. The Chinese are scared of the Japanese submarines. It has an excellent industrial base. It is the most technologically advanced nation in the world, right? You could consider Japan to be a shadow nuclear power. If they want, they can have nuclear weapons next week. That's how advanced their technology is, and that's how advanced their technological capabilities are. They also have a very advanced space program, very good rockets and all that. So they could have nukes next week. They could have delivery systems for the nukes next week. But they are under US occupation. The Americans will not allow them to do it unless the Americans deem it to be useful for America, for the American national interest. So that is the role right now of Japan in geopolitics. Not very significant. Japan is not really a sovereign nation, unfortunately.